ready?
I am ready.
Okay.
Oh.
Hi everyone, it's Chloe.
And Dani.
And welcome to Tranny Tot.
Hot dish.
This week's topic has been highly requested by some of you. I've talked to you in comments, and some of you I've talked to in person about makeup.
Yes.
I think beginning transition makeup is really difficult, especially if you haven't been doing makeup before. So kind of jumping the obstacle and just getting the simple things down is what we're going to talk about today. And beat my face.
We're going to beat your face.
We are.
I think the main thing that girls need to realize, like up-and-coming trans girls need to realize, is that they need to experiment with what works best for them, because makeup is a very finicky thing. Like, you may have a foundation that isn't suitable for your skin type. You need to figure out what your skin type is. You need to figure out how much coverage you need. So these are kind of the things that we're going to be talking about throughout this video. And this is where my experience with being Miss Makeup Artist at MAC comes in.
Yeah. And so I think a big problem too is that a lot of girls who transition have like these big ideas about makeup and what they want to do, and they see something on Pinterest, or they see something on like a drag queen, or they see something that they really love, and it's super extreme and super colorful and super bold, and that's not
super nighttime.
Yeah, and that's
what I want to wear during the day.
And something that I think a lot of trans women, if they tone down their makeup, could be more passable. So that's
all in the beginning. Less is more.
Yes,
less is more.
Because
as you will see, we're going to be using a very tiny list of products, talking about using things sparingly, except for maybe foundation, depending upon how much coverage your skin needs, especially around here.
Before we start makeup, I want to touch on brows. Brows are part of makeup too. You can fill them in if you have sparse brows, but if you have thick brows, like me, getting your brows done is so important, because that can take your face from masculine to feminine. That is like my #1 tip for beginning trans girls, is go to a professional. Get your brows shaped out to a very feminine, arched shape. Don't go too crazy, but take it up, take it away from your eye, get a nice arch, and that makes your face look two to three times more feminine than if you were just to have your brows as they were before.
Yeah, exactly. And if you have like a really thick brow to begin with, by arching that brow, you're going to give yourself so much more room on the eyelid and the brow bone to play around with color. So.
Yeah, because before I transitioned, my eyebrows were very thick. I mean, I was giving you Cara Delevingne thick brow realness.
Which is very runway.
I mean, I still have thick brows, but...
Yeah, but they're nicely
tamed.
shaped.
I mean, if you look up close, I have a couple hairs in the middle that need to be plucked.
Come on, unibrow.
Come on, unibrow. So with all that being said, we are going to get to the makeup.
Yeah.
So, I've put my hair up.
Look at you, woman.
So she can work with this blank canvas. So to start, I moisturize my face. I use Marie Badescu Aloe Lotion with SPF.
Currently, I use MAC Lightful moisturizer. It's different now. It's in different packaging, and it's got more vitamin C. It's got Lightful C on it. But this is an old one that I've had for a while, and it smells heavenly.
Both moisturizers that we're talking about are kind of expensive.
Yeah.
So if you want a more drugstore, more affordable, Aveeno, the soy complex, all natural, the one that Jennifer Aniston is in commercials for, is a really good moisturizer from the drugstore.
And I'm trying to think. When I'm not using my MAC moisturizer, I actually use this. It's sunscreen and moisturizer in one. SPF is 70. So it gives you the sun protection, it gives you the hydration.
You need...
That stuff is amazing.
SPF.
You need SPF.
100% SPF.
Especially if you're having laser hair removal, because it's just going to make it that much more easy, because you want your skin to be really light.
Yes.
So if you tan, stop tanning, and you can slap on sunscreen and get your pale on, and then you can get your face zapped, and you won't have any more hair.
So you don't have to wear such a full coverage foundation.
Oh,
or medium coverage that's buildable. Just beat my face.
Just beat my face. So to begin with, I am going to start with a makeup primer that I used when I was starting out. Even before I was starting out, I used this whenever I did like my makeup, because it's just really silky. It's really silicone-based primer. So it's called matte cream by MAC. So it comes in like a little clear tube. As you can see, it has matte on the very bottom. This is a product by MAC that does not get enough love because nobody really knows about it anymore. And people just use different types of primers from other companies, or they use different primers that MAC makes.
Yeah, I use Benefit Professional, which is silicone based too.
Yeah, lots of primers out there have silicone in them, so the silicone basically fills lines and pores. So what you end up getting is like a really smooth, flawless finish to your makeup, and you'll also get longer wear time out of your makeup from any primer that has silicone in it.
And that's good for smoothing the areas that may be a little more bumpy due to shaving.
Exactly. So I'm going to start with the primer. It's on the back of my hand. That's generally how I use my hand. Like I use it almost like as a palette. So, and I'm taking this really cheap e.l.f. brush. These brushes are great. It's only $3 at Target, so it's very cost effective.
And they're really high quality brushes.
Yes.
And they're cheap.
It's great. I'm not going to compare it to any higher brand makeup brush.
Because makeup brushes are expensive.
They are.
And once you learn, if you like makeup, then you can go for the expensive stuff.
Yeah, start out with the drugstore makeup. That's the best. Unless it's like your base and you need like a lot of coverage, I would suggest something like Kryolan's TV paint stick, or e.l.f. makes a really great paint stick right now, which is the same company that makes the brushes. But I would say any kind of cream, not liquid foundation is probably going to be the best because it'll go into like places that liquid won't, and it'll also cover things like liquid won't.
Yeah, and the foundation we're using today can be very full coverage. It's very buildable.
Then we're going to go in, yeah, she's all primed. So matte cream takes away like any shine.
If you have really oily skin, priming is so important.
Yes. Prime all the time, prime all the time, prime. So moving on to like foundation, that would be the next step after this. I generally do foundation after priming, and then I do concealing after that. I am going to be using the Infallible Pro Matte on Chloe today because she loves it.
Loving this foundation.
I need to get
it. It is like the biggest rage on YouTube right now because people are comparing it to a very expensive matte cream foundations. The one thing is I hate the smell of it. It smells like paint.
See, I have a thing about foundation smells. The more weird and chemically it smells, the more I like it.
Gross.
And I'm using the MAC 188 brush for this. There's a very inexpensive version of this by Sonia Kashuk.
Target.
So we're starting on Chloe with the places where she needs most coverage. She doesn't have much to cover up. But if you are just starting out, you may want to build up more around the facial area, the facial hair area. So around the jawline, down the neck, around your upper lip, your chin. These are areas that you're going to want to focus. You'll be able to kind of like feel it out, like how much you need. I always say start out with less because you can always build up your foundation, but you can never take it away without having to remove everything.
And that includes primer and all that jazz.
Yep, and then you have to done all that routine. Work for nothing. I would say focus on concentrating the most of that coverage around the facial hair area and then diffusing like a lighter amount of coverage because you can really like make those foundations really flexible depending upon your needs. Like you would just put like maybe a dab down the center of your face and then more around here and then blend it in with your foundation brush or your sponge or whatever you like to use.
I personally use a beauty blender. I love it. There's also a cheaper alternative to a beauty blender, the Real Techniques beauty sponge, and I've heard amazing reviews, and I think it's only like $10. Maybe not even, maybe like $7.
I've heard really good things about the Sonia Kashuk makeup beauty blender thing. All right, so foundation's on. The next thing that we're going to do is conceal. So basically on Chloe, the only place that she really needs concealer is under her eyes. She doesn't really need anything else other than that. I mean, she could technically use this as like a highlighter because it is very light. So using this down the center of the face on the cupid's bow of the lip is a really cool way of highlighting the face and giving the face some more dimension. So,
this is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 15 Fair.
And I'm going to do the check mark, or the triangle, as I like to call it. And right here. Right here. Right here. And down the center of the forehead.
All to just bring these areas of the face forward.
And feel free to go back and use the same brush. I do that all the time. And at first you're going to want to dab, because we've already placed the color where we need it. We just want to dab it in.
And if you drag, it can look very...
You see how her face looks really nice and highlighted underneath the eye? There you go. Dab, dab, dab. And then turn. Sealing is done. The next step that we're going to do is set all the liquid cream products on the face. This is a technique that makes your makeup stay on longer. I'm using Physicians Formula Organic Wear Translucent Powder in medium. So, and this product is very, 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 very comparable to MAC's Mineralized Skin Finishes. So what we're going to do is use an e.l.f. brush. This is a blush brush by e.l.f. And we're going to just set all the products in place. So I'm just dabbing where I have that concealer. And then turn this on. And then we're just going to get some more on there and just anywhere that the foundation is.
And this is also going to help with oil control.
Yeah. And you're going to touch up less throughout the day. So now that all of the cream products are on the face, we're going to move on to powder. Her skin looks really flawless, but it looks kind of flat. So we're going to go back in and add dimension and add all that good stuff with some more products.
And for each of the steps that we're talking about, if you guys have questions, leave them down below in the comments, or you can go to Dani's channel, that's Dani Marie Wagner on YouTube, and you can leave comments on her videos or on her timeline.
Yeah, I'd be happy to answer anyone's questions about makeup, because I do this for a living.
This is her job.
This is my job. So the next thing that we're going to do is use blush, bronzer, highlighter, not necessarily in that order. I mean, I've seen it done many different ways, in many different orders. Generally, the way I go is bronzer first, and I almost use bronzer as like a contour.
Yep.
And then I put blush over top of that, and then I put highlight over top of that. So I'm going from darkest to lightest.
Yeah. And especially if you're a beginner doing makeup, with bronzing and with contouring, use a light hand.
Yes.
Especially like beginning. Remember, you can always go back and put more product on, but you cannot take away a massive amount of product if you put it on all at once.
Amen.
So, light hand.
Yes. Okay. So I have this another Physicians Formula product. This is also organic wear, and this is bronzer / rose. I don't know if you can see that, probably not, but it comes in a package like this. I mean, I bought this like a year ago, so the packaging may be a little different now, but look for any kind of blush bronzer duo. e.l.f. also makes a really good one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an angle brush by e.l.f. and we're going to go into the bronzer. And basically, when you're contouring or doing any kind of bronzing to the skin, for contouring, you want to focus on the lower parts of the cheekbone. So if you feel your face and you feel where your cheekbone is, it is the underneath side of your cheekbone. So that's where you place the color.
Which often matches up with the top of your ear.
Yes. So, and you have to blend it into the hairline. Kind of like that. Look at that cheekbone. Damn. This is good on you. So pat, pat, pat. Blend a little bit. Bring it out. Look at that cheekbone, honey. Let's see. So next, I like to put this product through the hairline too. So just you're concentrating it around the perimeter of the face. So we're just going to build it up through here and kind of swirl at the same time. You see how one side's more defined than the other?
And this also helps to reduce the size of someone's forehead visually. Especially for, you know, some trans girls. I know at the very beginning of my transition, my forehead was way bigger than it is now.
Oh, yeah, mine too.
My hairline has since filled in a little. And, like, this trick has been a lifesaver for me.
And whenever you, like, stamp the color on, you're going to get more color concentration than you would swiping. Contoured for the gods, honey. Look at that bronziness. And then I generally do, like, the jawline, too. Mm-hmm. For some girls who have really square jawlines, contouring over, like, the end part of your jawline is going to...
curves it out.
Yeah, it's going to cut it out. It's going to soften it.
And for some of the heavier girls, too, it's going to make your jaw a little more defined, too.
Yeah, totally. And I always blend my contour, bronzer, whatever, down my neck. Because I feel like it aids. And look at that. Who is she?
Sometimes if you're doing this, and maybe you're using the wrong shade of bronzer or contour, it can look like facial hair.
Yeah.
Especially if you're defining your jawline, make sure to keep it under. Or maybe just slightly, because if you bring it up high, it will look like facial hair.
And if you have, like, a bigger chin, like I have a huge chin, I put some bronzer, like, right there, just to cut that chin out. Or, like, a big Adam's apple, you just put it on your Adam's apple. Me. So we'll put some right there. And that, essentially, in theory, pushes it back. You see how it's gone? Work. Okay.
I mean, it's always there, but... It's minimizing.
It's like soft and fluffy.
And always keep a very big, fluffy brush around. If you do put too much product on, you can go through and blend and blend and blend and blend.
Bling, bling, bling.
Yes, that's a Real Techniques brush.
Yes, these are great.
Love Real Techniques. These brushes will be, well, not this specific brush, but this brush set will be in the giveaway, which is coming out very soon.
Work. Contouring / bronzing done. We're going to move on to blush. I think I'm going to just use the same, the blush in this.
It's good to find a product that is good quality. Physicians Formula is known for their quality, and you can get 2-in-1.
It's a twofer. So I'm just placing blush basically on the apples of the cheek, and then I'm going to diffuse it backwards. So just a little pop of color. Look at that. See the difference? I love it. And then turn this way. Look at that. Rosy.
Sometimes, like, people with bigger cheeks, like, I have friends who have really full cheeks. If you place a lot of blush on those, it's gonna draw so much attention and make your cheeks look bigger. So for bigger girls, or girls who have bigger, like, kind of like not chipmunk cheeks, but like big apples, keep the blush to the side. Yeah. Rather than loading it on the apple.
On the apple. Highlighter, we're going to use that as our next thing. I just recently bought this, and this is super cheap, and it's wonderful, and it's a great dupe. Matte girls out there, this is a great dupe for a very popular mineralized skin finish called Whisper of Guilt, which, if you're lucky to get your hands on one,
it would be like $100.
It would be like $100, at least. Like, brand new in box, I've seen them go for like $200. But this is by Wet n Wild. It's from the Fergie collection. So this is a highlighter called, it's called Hollywood Boulevard, I believe. So it's a nice, really nice gold highlighter with some pink in it. It looks like Neapolitan ice cream. My favorite brush so far to use for, like, highlighting, lots of people like fan brushes. I like a good, like large size eyeshadow brush. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush, but you can use this for eyeshadow, you can use this for concealer, you can use this for highlighter. So we are going to highlight Miss Chloe out. Punchy. I'm just picking up some of that, and basically where you're highlighting is any of the high points on your face that you want shine to be on. Do not put this all over your skin, you will end up looking like an oil slick. Or like a fairy princess.
And that would defeat the purpose of wearing a matte foundation and having a mattifying primer.
And if you also put this over top of any kind of facial hair texture that you've just recently shaved, it's going to only emphasize that texture. So if you have bumpy skin around here, it's going to only bring that out. So you want to distract people looking at you from seeing that. That's why we put it up here, because we want a nice glistening highlight.
And it also makes your cheeks look higher and your face look more feminine.
Yes, exactly.
And you can really create a different face shape with contouring and highlighting.
Oh, totally. Look at the drag queen Raven, for example.
Oh, she's my idol.
They'll basically look the same.
Oh, when we're in drag. Oh my god, this highlight is everything.
And look at that.
Everything. Oh my god.
I know. If you can get your hands on Hollywood Boulevard, do it. I think you can buy it online too. So for this guy, since it's a highlighter, look at how beautiful that looks. I had to take a minute. So we have it on the cheekbone. I ran it through the brow bone, so we're almost using that as like the highlight on the brow bone for the eyeshadow. I'm going to take some more of it. I'm going to put it down the center of the chin, which pops out that chin. Look at that.
And remember, if you have hair on your chin, do not
do this.
Do not. I don't have very much facial hair.
Yes.
So I use highlighter everywhere.
Yes. Even on your cheek, or not cheekbones,
your
collarbones.
Your collarbones, and right on, and if you have breasts, right here.
Yeah, it's a super good trick. I also, this is my personal favorite trick because I have a kind of a tinier upper lip where she really doesn't need to do this, but I'm going to do it. I love doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I highlight the Cupid's bow of the upper lip. And that shit just pops out your upper lip. I think I covered it with some color too.
That's fine. There's some foundation, but you'll see what it looks like when we do lips.
On the center of the forehead too. So we're highlighting a lot. But
do you remember how flat my face looked when we just put on the foundation? Because it was matte. So you can go back in after you mattify your face and use all matte products with highlighter and create dimension to your face.
Yeah. Go get this. Okay, so next we are done with all of the face makeup. I'm going to move on to Chloe's eyes. Now for eyes, if it's daytime, don't use black. And if you use black, use a tiny, 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 tiny amount of black.
Like as liner.
As liner. That's a really great trick.
And for beginners, those of you who haven't really learned or don't have a steady hand or kind of that muscle memory of lining your eyes, use an angled brush with black shadow. It's more forgiving. You can blend it out if you mess up, but just to like get the shape of your eye down with that muscle memory, use that. It's so much easier than going in with a cream product or an eye pencil.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And also using your pinky to anchor your hand is a really good trick at getting a more steady line.
And a good mirror too. So
a mant.
This is just from TJ Maxx, but it has the magnifying side and the not magnifying side.
Oh. Okay, so to start out with the eyes.
Bring us down.
Yeah. We are gonna do just a basic 3 shadow look. She already has the highlighter as the highlight on her brow bone, so we really don't need to go in with a shadow there. I'm also going to use the same highlighter as the inner corner highlight. So basically, if you're new to like makeup completely, knowing the parts of the eye are going to be essential to learning how to put color on the eye or where certain colors need to go. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that right now. So there's about 4 or 5 different distinctive areas to the eye, this part that you need to know about. So I'll show you on Chloe.
I'll close my eye.
We have the lid, which obviously a lot of people like to put shadow there, so it's the lid. You can, at any point, divide the lid into halves and have like a darker shade on the outer half, a lighter shade on the inner half, or you can do thirds. You can split it between lighter, medium, and then darker on the outer part. Now, turn your head. The outer part of the eye, where it kind of blends into the crease, this is called the outer V. You'll hear a lot of makeup gurus on YouTube talk about the outer V. And basically this would be any place that you would place like a darker color. You're getting kind of into another part of the eye, which is called the crease. The crease is basically where your skin folds on your eyelids naturally. You will know if you feel the top of your eyeball. That's where you place the crease color.
And if you have monolids, so for someone who's Asian maybe, who has a monolid, you can create your own crease just by feeling that bone and adding a darker transition color.
Exactly, good point.
Gotta keep my Asians out there. Hey girl.
Hey, how you doing? So I think the next 2 points of interest, brow bone, and then inner corner highlight, or inner corner of the eye, basically the tear duct area. Sorry, I just poked you with that. So basically you can use the same color for those 2 points on the face. You have the lower lash line that you can use the same color as your crease color for, and I feel like that gives like a really nice definition to the lower lash line.
Just holds everything together.
Yeah, for more like everyday makeup, don't extend your lower lash line color all the way in. Stay about 2/3 of the way out.
And you don't always have to put mascara on your lower lashes.
Yeah. I mean, it's a matter of personal preference. If you have really great lower lashes and you want to make them stand out, do it.
My lower lashes are real thick.
Okay, so I have a palette here from MAC that I have made. You can assemble palettes at any MAC store. So basically, you buy the pans individually. You buy the container, you place a pan in there. It's like magnetic, so it just sticks right in there. You can pop them out, put different colors in. You don't have to buy a 15-pan eyeshadow palette. You can buy a 4-pan, or they even make 2-pan eyeshadow palettes. So you will end up with like a 2-pan palette, $20 for the shadow. I believe it's like $8 for the container. The more cost-effective route is by buying a big one and filling it up as you go along.
And if you don't want to spend that much money, a good alternative, especially to this color scheme, is going to be L'Oreal's La Nude Palette 2. That will run you depending on where you go. It's really cheap at Target. It's like, I want to say it's like $13. You get similar shades. I think in total you get like 14 eyeshadows, and they're smaller, but similar shades. Maybe not as good as quality, but comparable. And you get a whole palette for $13.
Yeah.
So,
and it's good to begin with, because then you can play around with the dark colors, knowing where to put those, the light colors, knowing where to put those.
And some of those shades in there aren't as pigmented either, which is good for beginners because you can blend those out easy if you make mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, so how I'm going to start this is I'm going to take a favorite color of mine. It's called Soft Brown. This is
favorite color.
I fucking love this color. I'm about to hit pan on this color because I've loved it so much. So Soft Brown on the brush. We're putting this in the crease. So I like to start with my crease first. And this is just going to give your eye some definition. Kind of like contouring the face, but we're using it on the eye. We're contouring the eyeball. You see the difference in that makes?
And it gives a nice warm tone to the eye, too.
Yeah, and if you have blue eyes, it makes them pop.
Do you want my other eye?
I want your other eye. So, like I said, anchoring your pinky on your cheekbone kind of gives you a more steady hand. And we're taking this color through her other crease. I'm using a MAC brush, but you can get brushes very similar to this from e.l.f. You can get brushes like this from Sonia Kashuk. You can get brushes from Target brand makes a really great brush, Up and Up.
Yeah, and some other Morphe brushes are higher end but less expensive than MAC brushes, and they're pretty comparable.
Same thing with Sigma. Theirs are a little bit more pricey per brush, but they're still very good. So, okay, so our crease is defined. It looks lovely. Her eye color is just popping. Okay, the next thing we're going to do after this is just put like a lid color on. So you can use anything that's more of a neutral tone. Generally, like today, I rocked Amber Lights, which I talk a lot about this color in my videos. Like I've done like both of my looks using this fucking color. Woodwinked is a really pretty color by MAC for people with blue eyes. You could do Sable. You could do Satin Taupe. Satin Taupe is really popular. All of these are wearable for every day, so I'm going to do Woodwinked on you because I don't think you've ever worn that.
I have not.
So we're just putting Woodwinked all over the eyelid. And we're not going past her crease. And this brush was from Target. It's from Up and Up. This is what they used to look like. They look different now, but they're the same brush, basically. Look at that eye color. So pretty for every day. So pretty.
So pretty, like model or cheerleader.
Cozy eye. And you may want to go back and blend some colors together. Like, I see a little place where I need to blend right here. So we're going to blend right there. We're going to blend right there.
So, time for something else.
I am going to do Chloe's liner next. You could use like a dark brown more for like every day, or something jazzy like this dark purple, which is Deep Damson.
Oh,
which
would look beautiful on green and brown eyes.
Yes.
Purple is like
Yes, Lord. I'm going to use a Real Techniques brush. It's a really tiny one that comes in like a set of eye brushes with the purple handle on it. And the color that I'm going to use on her is called Swiss Chocolate. So it is a dark chocolatey brown.
I'm going to get real close so you guys can see.
Yeah. So we're just going to smudge this into her lash line as much as possible. And if you get some fallout, don't worry about it. You can just brush that away with like a big fluffy face brush. So something like that. Oh, that eye. And this is where if you have like a pencil liner, you can do the very same technique. You just draw a line on your lash line as close as possible. And then you use like a brush similar to this, or like a pencil brush, and then you can blend it into the lash line. And then you brush away any kind of fallout from the cheek.
The nice thing about using more neutral colors is if you do use black, the fallout on that is a lot harder to get rid of, and sometimes you'll get little like black streaks under your eyes, which is not fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So next up is like an inner corner highlight. Like I said, we're going to use the same exact highlight. So this is like, you could use this as like a lid color too if you wanted to.
For a really light daytime look.
Yeah, just dust it on the lid, throw something in the crease. So I'm just going to take that very same brush and I'm just stamping it like on the inner corner. This look is brought to you by Elephant Wet n Wild.
Seriously.
It's Tranny-licious. It's trans-friendly. That's gorgeous. I love that. She was just like, oh, who, me? Who, me? Okay, so next up is mascara. So I'll let you do that part because I don't want to, like, in this awkward position, just kind of, like, jab you in the eye. We can talk about our favorite mascaras right now. Like, what's your favorite?
Okay, well, none of the ones I'm using are my favorite because I ran out of my favorite.
Yeah.
My favorite...
Well, favorites.
Favorites. So, for drugstore, I love Maybelline the Falsies. So it's in that purple tube.
I've used that before.
And, what is it? L'Oreal... Was it L'Oreal or Maybelline? Lash Accelerator.
Oh, I've never used that.
Lash Accelerator makes them super long. I've been trying this, what is this? Great Lash
That's
Out.
like the oldest mascara known to man.
I don't like it.
Yeah, it makes your lashes super clumpy.
Yeah. But
Tammy Faye Baker.
It works, and it has a really tiny one, so it works nice for lower lashes.
Oh, let me
but
see.
my favorite mascara of all time is the Bobbi Brown Smoky Eyes mascara. It is like the best volume and length and separation. It's not clumpy. It's beautiful. I'll show you.
I think this mascara, Great Lash, used to be really popular in the 80s.
Oh, and it's still popular. It wins Allure. But this is just like a sample size. So Bobbi Brown, really simple packaging, but amazing.
Okay, and the ones that I really love, the one in my hand is Clinique's Lash Doubling Mascara. This is my favorite, one of my favorites. It gives you really nice natural lashes. Not too overdone, not too clumpy, not too big. Great for every day. My other favorites are MAC's Extreme Dimension Lash. I kind of describe it as like CoverGirl's Lash Blast, which is another one of my favorites, but on crack. It's that good. And if you end up getting an Extreme Dimension Lash, get the darker one, the 3D. It's just got more carbon in it to make your lashes look darker and more defined. I really like Lash Power by Clinique. That one is more of like a rubbery kind of texture, so when you wash it off, it comes off in tubes. But I feel that one like applies really nicely. It's great to wear during the winter time if your eyes water when you're outside. I'm trying to think of another one. There's the Lash Blast that came in like a green tube with like a skinnier brush.
Oh yeah, with that weird brush.
I actually liked that one. They still make it, but anyway, go ahead.
So this is me with mascara on this side, so you can see that, and this is without. I'm using Perversion by Urban Decay right now. I don't like it, but it's the best one I have on me at the moment. But yeah.
You want to try this?
Sure. Ooh, I love that one.
The wand is everything. I feel like half of makeup, like mascara, is in the wand, and then the other half is in the formula. I tend to like mascaras that have a little bit of more of like a wetter formula, because then those are more easy to work with, and I feel like they coat your lashes a little bit better than like a drier mascara.
See, and I'm like the opposite. I love dry mascaras.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, I don't know, like during the application, I feel like they separate easier. I don't know.
So whenever you put mascara on, me and Chloe have this little trick. You get like a glob of mascara like on the tip of the wand. We just take it and we rub it off of the edge.
It also makes application so much easier because you don't get it all over your face.
If you like poke yourself with the wand, you're not going to get mascara all over your skin. I also have a trick where I take a tissue and I dab the end of it too. I also like, now that I'm thinking about it, I also like Makeup Forever's Smoky Lash. Their Smoky Lash is really good. And it's a kind of a unique brush because it like is really fat at the end and then it just tapers really quickly to like a point. So I like that one too.
So this is with my mascara on.
You better work. Yes, Lord. And I would say for her, since she doesn't really do anything through her brows, like a good brow or lash brush will get you, more. Will get
separation.
Yeah, it'll separate, but it'll also tell them where to go.
Oh yeah.
And then Maybelline makes a clear mascara
for your brows.
You can put that for your brows just to keep them in place. So I like to just brush through. I'm brushing your hair too. You see the difference that makes?
Mm-hmm.
Bam! After you do that, you would be ready to put color through it if you wanted to. Yeah. But Miss Chloe doesn't need that.
So, last step, lips.
Lips. So keep it simple, something for every day. Feel free to throw in a gloss.
I love nude gloss. That's kind of my religion.
Yeah, mine too.
Nude gloss is my religion. I will show you what my religion is, though. So Dani knows that this is my religion when it comes to lipstick. If I'm ever gonna do a nude lip, I always wear this, and I'm always rocking a nude lip. So
you're gonna do yours, I'm gonna do mine because I basically have the same thing almost.
This is a MAC lipstick. I'm not super big on I wasn't super big on MAC until I met this bitch. But this was actually the first MAC lipstick I ever purchased, and it has been my favorite since. This is MAC Pure Zen lipstick, and it is in a cream sheen finish. And you can see, that's how much product I have left. And it's this beautiful peach tone nude, and it is, I love it. So I'm gonna put that on.
Put it on.
Well, she says her favorite.
No, I want to watch you put on your lipstick.
Why?
Because I'm weird. No, I'm kidding. But that's a super pretty color. I need to get that. I feel like on me though, it would be too because you're a little darker than I am.
For me, this nude works because I do have some yellow undertone, and this is peach, so there's a little bit of an orange to it, and it kind of complements, I don't know, I just love this. This lipstick for me goes with every warm look. I've worn it with a cooler toned look, and it's not my favorite with cool toned eyes or like a light icy pink blush.
Oh,
but yeah. This is like my nude, and I'm always wearing warm tones. But so yeah, my holy grail lipstick is in the color Pure Zen.
And mine is a recent release from MAC. It's also, yours is a luster. No, yours is a cream sheen. Mine's a luster formula, so basically a cream sheen is like really opaque coverage, but still very creamy and shiny. Mine is basically shiny, but with like a little hint of color. It's called Real Redhead, and it's a luster finish. And this I bought like a week and a half ago, so this is how much I've been using this thing.
Wow.
And
that's nice because it has some warmth to it. It's almost, I don't know how to describe that.
It's kind of like a light
brown. It has like a brown to it.
Like a burnt peach or something.
Yeah, a burnt peach is definitely a good way to describe it.
And I had something on beforehand, so it's...
Okay, so this is the finished look.
Your face is beat. God, your skin looks amazing. You better work, bitch. You're like, shut up.
I'm modeling.
Yes, you are. Gorgeous.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of Tranny Tot Hot Dish. It's going to be a long one, but we hope that you learned something from the amazing Dani and her makeup artistry skills. We actually came up with an idea while doing this video. It will be another makeup tutorial by Dani, but it will not be a Tranny Tot Hot Dish video. It will be on Dani's channel, Dani Marie Wagner on YouTube. Her link is always down below. And we're going to do a nighttime look. So this is a daytime look. It's very simple. You can even go simpler than this if you wanted to. But for trans women, you know, a little glamorous, nothing wrong with it. But yeah.
Another thing I wanted to mention too is like most of the time I start out my looks with my eyes first. And that's a really good way of cutting out fallout. So keep that in mind if you're doing a more dramatic look on the eyes. Since we were using more neutral colors on the eyes, I took the liberty of just doing her face first and then working on her eyes.
Yeah. And we'll cover all that in the nighttime eyeshadow or makeup look that Dani will be doing on me in the near future on Dani's channel. You have any last minute tips for the girls?
I don't, but just take your time and practice, and don't get too discouraged.
Makeup can be tough, but practice, use neutrals and light colors first, and develop your skill, and then go from there.
And you have to know the rules before you will be able to break them. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's all for now. Thank you guys for tuning in to Tranny Tot Hot Dish. I'm Chloe.
I'm Dani.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.